Welcome everybody to the basement and future workshop of the house that I'm featuring in my new YouTube channel, Homemade Home. Also wanted to include this video on this channel. I might do a separate edit for the other channel, but since this is going to be where a lot of future videos are filmed. And in particular, this is sort of, I guess you'd say, the start of the workshop. So what I'm needing to do is get a sub panel mounted to the wall. And I'm using some 2x4s and attaching them to the wall. With that tool you just saw me using, it's where you basically put 22 blanks in it and then the masonry nails and hit it, and it fires the nails through the wood and into that center block wall. And those 2x4s are 16 inches apart. They don't need to specifically be that close or anything. I'm just going to be mounting a piece of plywood on it to mount the sub panel to. And but I have them running all the way to the floor to where I can mount whatever else I want to. I think in the end I'm probably going to put my metal lathe on this wall, and then some sort of a French cleat type situation going on above it to hang different things on, and with a workbench running the full length of that wall, which is about 9 feet, 9.5 feet actually. So I'll come back in and fill in that left part you see there later on. So the first thing I did was just kind of, well, I ran some screws along the bottom when you saw me using that level, and then sat the board on that, and then pre-drilled holes and screwed the board every foot. So there's a lot of screws holding that on there. It's nice and strong. I think I hung on it a second ago, so you saw that it is very sturdy because it probably will have some heavy stuff hanging on it. And the sub panel that I'm using is just a regular breaker box being used as a sub panel. It's a 100 amp box, so there's a 200 amp breaker box upstairs in the house with a 100 amp sub panel in the basement, and with a, I believe it's a number 4 wire is what you connect them with. I've already got it, I just can't remember what the number is. So I think the total length of the wire is about 12 feet, and that heavy wire is pretty difficult to work with, so I drilled some 1.5-inch holes to work that wire through. And there they are. Had to go through 2 of the joists and then through a beam, which is the equivalent of 3 of those joists. And here I'm just kind of working that wire through all the holes. And once again, it is extremely stiff wire. It's very hard to deal with. But pretty much just fish it through your holes and then down through the top of your panel, and use big wire connector, whichever is the appropriate size wire connector for the wire you're using. I think I used a 1-inch or 1-inch wire connector for this particular wire. And you just have to get it down in the box far enough to be able to connect everything up. I always leave a little excess to where you don't run short. And this is sort of tracing the wire back through, and all this is going to end up being covered up with insulation. And that remaining wire you see there will be shoved up further up through the floor into the wall where the main panel is upstairs. So that's the first project of the new shop. Hopefully there'll be a lot of tool noises and projects coming out of this basement soon. So stay tuned, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, click the red button on the screen now and you'll get updates when I post future videos. Thanks for watching.